Tegan and Sara in studios right now. Happy Halloween, ladies.
Happy Halloween.
It is so nice to have you here. You're at House of Blues tonight. We were talking a little bit about costumes, and I know we were talking off air about it. I don't know, can you tell people what you're going to be, or is it going to be a surprise?
Well, I'll probably surprise people because, there's not many exciting surprises in my regular everyday life. So I think I'm really going to milk this Halloween costume thing a lot. Sarah hasn't confirmed 100% if she's going to dress up tonight, but we are live streaming the show. So I feel like hopefully my costumes really go over. I hope people are excited.
I'm more excited. I'm less excited about Tegan dressing up and more excited to see if the audience dresses up.
Oh, wow.
I would think that the audience would dress up.
I hope so.
Which would be weird as if they dress up as you.
Well, we've been
asked
encouraging them to.
Yeah, we want them to dress up like us.
Yeah, we think it would be funny. Like when people were writing in about costume ideas, we were like, you should dress up as Tegan and Sara. And so we've been encouraging people to use the hashtag T&S for Halloween. And people have been dressing up. And actually, overwhelmingly, people have been dressing up as us from the Sainthood era, which is a record we put out in 2009. 9 or 10, which is basically just a bowl cut with a striped shirt.
Well, that's easy.
Exactly.
One year, my friends went as the Julie Kramers, which was really
That's
fun.
so
That's
cute.
so funny.
It wasn't tough. It was like dark glasses, a coffee mug, a T-shirt. Like
I love that.
It wasn't tough, but it was funny. Now, when I heard you were playing on Halloween, my first thought was that you were going to go as kitties.
That's funny.
That's a great one.
Because I thought you would be really cute as cats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it turns out that you're kind of freaky cat lovers.
Well, I take responsibility for the influx of cat photographs on our Instagram
Sarah's
and social media.
obsessed.
I mean, I have 2 cats. I mean, it's sort of like the aggravating thing that happens when all of your friends have children and it's like they cease to have lives except for telling you about all the things that their kids have done. I'm like that with my cats.
You know what, though? I will admit that when Sarah first got the cats and was posting about them, I was kind of like, oh, my God, is she going to do this all the time? But, like, last night we were up in Montreal and we had a dinner party, and one of our friends has a really cute cat. His name's Like, and Sarah snapped a photo of me with Like, and it got, like, triple the amount of likes that a photo of Sarah
From
and I
Like.
gets. Yeah.
Which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
You got likes from Like.
Like, the second Sarah and I touch a cat, then the likes go right up.
People love
Them,
love cats.
Yeah.
Maybe it just shows that you have this sensibility with animals. What about dogs?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge dog person, but what we've definitely seen is that if we post something of just ourselves, it's less popular than if we post something with any kind of animal. I mean, people like animals. They it gets the thumbs clicking. You know?
How about if you are taking pictures with babies?
I try not to put any babies on our Instagram because I try to I feel like parents now, we were actually talking about this on the way up, that Halloween is less fun now because parents are so worried about kids and their kids going door to door. Like back in the day, the only thing you got told was like, don't eat any apples when you're trick-or-treating. That's it. Now it's like,
or unwrapped candy.
or unwrapped candy, but like that was basically it. Now people are so scared for their children to go. I've seen so many like how to keep your children safe like on the news, and I'm like, oh my God. But I just feel like I don't put children
If
up
Sarah's
on Instagram.
cats had to go trick-or-treating, she would care a lot more.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
well,
just
I'm
silly.
excited just to have all the kids ring the bell, and they're so excited. Like, I
Yeah.
love Halloween.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I'm excited just...
Wait, what's your costume going to be tonight?
I haven't decided. I was Bowie the other night from Aladdin
Oh.
Sane, so which I noticed a lot of people went as this year, so I guess
Yeah.
I wasn't that creative. But I'm not sure exactly what I'll be when I answer the door. I mean, that's still up for grabs, but I do love it. Now, have you ever played a gig on Halloween before?
Yeah, we have actually. We often tour during this period of the year. This is like a fairly common time for us to be out doing our thing. So
I don't think I've ever really dressed up on stage though before.
We've never dressed up. One time we came out as I think superheroes for an encore back in the a long time ago, like probably like 10 years ago or something. But we've definitely played on Halloween. Memorable was actually when we put out Sainthood. We played at Town Hall in New York City on Halloween, and a lot of people dressed as us, and it was adorable.
I think that's kind of fun. You're at House of Blues tonight, and you're on the road. How long are you on the road for?
We finish up just before Thanksgiving here in America, and then most of 2017 will be international. We're going down to South America for the first time, and over to Europe and Australia and New Zealand, and then we'll be back for festivals. So
In the summer?
yeah.
Oh, it's insane. Love You to Death is the new record. So you toured the record for what, like a year and a half?
Yeah, I think this cycle might be a little shorter.
It'll be from the time that we started. It'll be over 2 years. Like from start to finish, it's about 2 years.
What do you do with your cats?
Oh well, I have a girlfriend, and she is we are co-parenting these cats. I'm sort of the
Do
deadbeat.
they come to visit? Like you're like, okay, I'll be
No.
kind of close to where
I
we
wish.
are.
I sort of wish, but the truth is,
Skype with them?
I Skype with them. Well, I FaceTime with them.
Even photos of Sarah FaceTiming get more likes than just us alone.
I really miss the cats. I really do. But honestly, I sort of feel like the parent that is so excited to run away. Like every time I FaceTime with my girlfriend, it's like I can see the cat hair on her shirt or something. Like I'll see like some remnant of the responsibilities that I get to not have to participate in when I'm on the
You
road.
could just go have fun.
Yeah, I'm like, oh man, I don't miss. I had to like completely change my aesthetic when I got cats. I exclusively, pretty much my whole adult life have worn all black, and then I got these damn cats, and now it's like I just find myself wearing like all white because I just don't want to see their cat hair.
Yeah. I think they have a thing called like a lint brush or something.
I mean,
that-
I'm keeping those people in business.
Yeah.
The lint brush companies should really.
Sarah offers to roll you before you
Oh
leave.
yeah, I have them everywhere, and I get the big ones for dog hair because
that
it's
would
like.
be a funny merch item.
Oh yeah,
The Tegan and Sara, like, get the kitty
lint
hair off
roller.
you.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Which brings me to, do you have Tegan and Sara socks?
We do.
That is awesome.
Yeah, they are actually awesome. I was sort of on the fence when they got pitched to us, but they have turned out great. They've got Tegan and Sara faces on them, and
It's
it's been
kinda-
quite popular. They
it's-
keep selling out.
It's kind of like Warholish.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of pop art.
The strangest items end up being very, very popular. But the socks are very popular. We also have pins of Sarah's cats.
Oh, good. We're talking to Tegan and Sara there at House of Blues tonight. The new record is called Love You to Death. What other weird merch items do you have? Or have you had? Because I think the socks is pretty cool. I don't think I've ever seen band socks before.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we I'll be honest with you, we love merchandise. There were times in our career where I think that it was really cool to pretend like you don't care about the business or like merchandising. Like there's some kind of like tacky selling out thing. But we have always loved merchandising. That was one of the things that we did pretty much in high school when we wrote our first song.
We love it. We have we released the different seasons. Like we have all sorts of. We have a fisherman's beanie right now. We did a collaboration with a Australian sunglass company called Local. So we've got a Love You to Death. Sunglass collaboration that we're selling right now. I don't know. We love this stuff.
I do too. I
Yeah.
think it's fun. And I think
and we're obsessed with the quality of it. Like when we're like printing on a new hoodie, I have it sent to my house and then I wear it and then wash it and dry it. Like I want to make sure, like we're very, very particular about stuff because I don't want to sell our fans crap.
right, especially like the hoodies are kind of expensive.
Yeah.
And so you don't want them to be like, well, it fell apart after a couple
Yeah.
of days. But the thing is I think for fans, they like the stuff.
Totally.
Like some people are into posters. Some people are into. That's why the socks sell out.
That's why the socks sell out, I think, is because it is specialty. And if you don't want to have to wear a band t-shirt, it's a good one. Sarah and I always laugh because we have the most amazing art director, creative director. She's been with us 13 years. Everything you've ever seen of Tegan and Sara is designed by her, from the album artwork, the website, all of our merchandise. And we all laugh because the three of us have very similar style. And when she designs all the merch, we'll pick our favorites and then we'll just decide not to do those because if we like it, that means the fans won't like it because we never pick the stuff with our faces. But that's what always sells.
Actually,
is
a
the
big
faces.
seller. I was gonna mention this. Probably the weirdest was we did pillowcases, and
Oh my
it was a
God.
matching set, and one pillow had Tegan's face on it, and one had my face on it.
And they were like profile. One of them was like profile, and the other was
So
sort
it's
of
like you
dead
could
on.
be-
So you could literally like lay next to our faces and kind of like just like stare
Odd.
into our eyes.
Odd.
people liked them. I don't know.
But it was Morrissey who had done pillowcases, and our merch manager, he's a diehard Morrissey fan. He said hottest selling item on the Morrissey tour with these pillowcases, and we were like, fine, begrudgingly went along with it. And they were sold out right away.
Yeah, people loved them.
People are weird.
Well, I mean, maybe it's one of those things. If you only do a short run of it, maybe they'll be worth something someday. I don't know.
maybe.
Have you ever signed a pillowcase for someone?
Oh, we've signed everything. At this point, it's pretty.
What's the weirdest thing you've ever signed that's not your own?
I got it. 100%. We have a very lovely fan who approached us at a meet and greet a couple years ago, and she was like really, really covered in tattoos. Like I'm talking like not a lot of real estate left on her skin. She was wearing very short shorts, and she said, "I'm not going to alarm you, but I want to show you a Tegan and Sara tattoo I have. So just be prepared. I'm going to pull up my shorts." And she had my face tattooed like on her inner thigh. She was there with her partner. Her partner approved of this.
Okay.
And then she showed her other side was blank, and she was like, "I'm getting Sarah's face next month."
So, but when she puts her legs together, they're touching.
Yeah,
Basically,
it's not
we are,
comfortable for
and
us.
she made us sign them. So she was gonna get our like signatures tattooed underneath them, and I was like, all right, I mean, this is gonna look really weird when you're old, but if that's what you want to do.
I find that you two are very good with your fans.
I love them. I
you
think they're
really
so cool.
are. I mean, you've been doing this. Has it been more than half your life yet? Pretty close.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you
we started writing in high school, so yeah. Like
yeah,
it's
no, I
been
mean,
like
we
half our life.
graduated high school when we were 17, and now we've been doing this for 17 years. So, I mean, yeah, it's like a 50-50.
Yeah,
This is
split
it.
there. But you're good with your fans. Now, early on, you were playing in places with a handful of people, and you know, do you keep in touch with some of those people, those early fans, those fans that sort of said, hey, let's go get a cup of coffee, or let me buy you a meal because you haven't really eaten, you're in a, a van.
Do you know, we actually just saw what I would call our there's three women who they're probably our first fans, like real fans. And we met them in the year 2000. And in different circumstances, but we've actually seen all three on this tour. And for me, it's hard to call them friends because they're not in my personal life. Like we don't like celebrate Christmas together or whatever. But I've been seeing them with regularity since 2000, and I know about their lives and I know about their children, and I feel sort of an affection for them because they sort of have been with us through all of our career, and sometimes they remember things that we have completely forgotten about, so it's fun to sort of tap their hard drives, like just be like, do you remember that weird gig we did? And then they know, like they remember these things. And so for us, it's like I mean, Tegan and I think because we're siblings and there's an intimacy, and then because we tell so many stories, something about that allows that we want that with our audience too. We like the people who stick with us. We feel like we want to reward their loyalty by being transparent and chatting with them and keeping up with them,
or sending them some Tegan and Sara socks.
I mean, we generally don't give out free merchandise to the fans, but we do give out free hugs. Yeah.
Well, hugs are good. I'm sure a lot of them appreciate that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the new record, Love You to Death. So tell me a little something about how you approach this record differently than your 7 other records?
We approach every record differently, partly because we do tour for a long time. We'll take a year to write songs, and over the course of the nearly 2 decades since we started playing music, obviously music has changed a lot. So with each record, we definitely try to cover some new ground and not rely too heavily on what we've done in the past. So with Love You to Death, we really wanted to still stay and sort of make pop music, but we were listening more to like 90s pop music. And
what were you listening to?
well, we talked endlessly about TLC in the studio with Greg Kirsten, who was producing the record, because we talked a lot about like in junior high and high school, we were kind of more like punks, and so a lot of that sort of like hip hop, like R&B music, it was very popular at the time. We weren't really listening to it, so we went back and listened to a lot of that stuff, and we liked a lot of the keyboard sounds. We tried to make Love You to Death be that fan record that you could listen to from start to finish, that the people who loved old school Tegan and Sara would still really love it. Like we wanted to, infuse the record with a lot of depth and have, emotions very much on the surface of the record, so not smooth it out too much, not have it be too dense. And so I think it's a collection of really, really intense songs, but there's still that pop sheen.
They're right, intense songs, but like a happy beat.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
And the theme through the record, love, breaking up, relationships.
I like to think of it as
Life?
Like relationships, and not just with romantic partners, but for me, I wrote a couple of songs about my relationship with Tegan. It's like been we've had a long history, and there've been
since birth.
Yeah, since birth. It's been a long 36 years. But I think for me, it's interesting to look at relationships from my past, because I need the distance to be able to like really, really analyze them. And I think, being artists and sort of having to put a lot of your personal feelings and your personal stories out into the public, I think we've gotten better at making the songs feel personal without feeling like we're exploiting the relationships in our lives, including this relationship that is always on blast. So, this record was tricky for me because as I've gotten older, my personal life and my privacy have become more important to me, and I don't always feel like telling everybody everything about myself. And
you gotta have some secrets.
You do. And just, I love being an artist, and I think it's a dilemma because as an artist, you want to put everything in there. You want to be transparent. I think you have to sort of be brave, and you have to sort of be open to the idea that you're going to receive criticism about stuff that is deeply, deeply personal. but as I've gotten older, I've also realized that, like, I don't know, maybe I'm not the kind of artist that's just going to say everything I'm thinking or feeling on social media or in my songs or on stage.
I think you can still be an artist, but you don't have to give it all up.
I think so. And I try to use some of the legacy people that I grew up listening to, and I think about their lives and how they were able to maintain some autonomy and privacy. Like you mentioned David Bowie earlier. Like he's somebody I think about a lot. Like, there was so much known about him, and yet there was such a mystery about him after he died. And I sort of feel like people like Kate Bush,
who never tours.
Like
She's very afraid to get on an airplane.
Yeah, she won't do it.
Yeah.
And I think there's those were the people, those were the artists that we grew up with, and I loved the transparency of their music and their art. But then that there's just like so much that they don't reveal at all. And Tegan and I joke around that it's not because I'm hiding some like amazing, mysterious, like sexy side thing. Like I am boring. Like I watch TV and Netflix and pet the cat and change the litter box and like hang out in the yard and water the garden. Like I'm just a normal, boring person.
She's just getting cat hair off you.
No, there's a weird green ladybug. I think that this ladybug or whatever it is has dressed up for Halloween. Look at it, it's green.
I just caught it in my eye. Sarah's a humanitarian.
Yeah,
she didn't kill the bug.
I would have. I just wanted to put the bug on the thing. But yeah, anyway, so I think, Tegan and I have been really embarrassed feeling like we don't show too much of our personal lives, not because we're exciting. It's actually because we're super boring.
I think, again, getting back to, you create your art, but it's your art. So you
Yeah.
make all the decisions based on that. Now, after touring for 2 years together, and you go your separate ways for a while, what do you do besides watching TV and whatever?
And petting the cats.
And take, like eat good food and take a shower and do your laundry or whatever.
Traveling for fun has become a total privilege of, all these years that we spent, working and traveling. All of a sudden, like in the last couple of years, I've actually just started to go places and go on vacation. I had never done that before. So
where have you gone?
I spent some time in the south of France, which was delightful. And we moved out to LA to work on the record, but that truly does feel like a vacation for me. I mean, no winter jackets.
We'd been to Napa to play before, but it never just been for fun. So we went out for our birthday last year, and we both still have places up in Canada, so we go back and forth a lot. Like even when we were writing "Love You to Death," I was, existing in two places because I was up in Vancouver. Our mom's there, and I think we both are really sort of at that really awesome age where a lot of our friends are having kids. So we're sort of like kind of having that normalizing experience of just now, instead of like let's go on a cool trip and all blah, blah. Instead I just go to Calgary and just hang out with all my friends' kids, and
that's fun. You get baby time. Now, do you ever want kids? Either of you, both of you?
Yeah, I think we're both. I mean, we've talked about over the course of our adult lives, about what that would look like for our band.
Would you do it at the same time so that way you'd take the same time off?
I mean, the truth is that I was in a 5-year relationship, and I was like, oh, kids would be so cool. At the end of it was the sign that the relationship was coming to an end that I started to be like, kids, like animals. Let's get stuff so we're not bored. I definitely think that was the closest I ever got, and I think that Sarah and I are very lucky because we have a very family band atmosphere. We have a great team, and I think we've built a really awesome foundation for our career that we could take time off and we could say, oh, I want to go have kids. And I don't know right now. Everyone around us has had kids, so that's like kind of a daily reminder that kids are a real huge amount of work, and it seems like they're all having a lot of fun, and my friends' lives do seem truly enriched. But then sometimes when I'm sleeping till 10 and then
that won't happen anymore.
And I have like a really amazing life, and I'm talking about doing some international travel when we finish this record, and I have like a really bomb apartment, and I kind of have like a really nice life, and I wonder sometimes if that's truly missing. I'm not entirely sure. So, but my partner's younger, so I don't feel like we have to rush. And I do believe that if Sarah had kids, it would probably make me want to have kids. Like I feel like I would want that, but I don't know. Maybe it would be the opposite. Maybe I'd be like, great, I'll help you with your child, and
you'll be the best auntie ever.
I will be, yeah. So I don't know, but I do think that it would reveal a whole different part of the life existence.
I figure if Mick Jagger's having kids in his 70s, I have a few more years to go. I'm not planning on carrying the kid anyway, so I feel like maybe I'll just have kids when I'm a senior.
There's plenty of time. We're talking to Tegan and Sara. They're at House of Blues tonight. The record is "Love You to Death." You mentioned that you're going touring to some places that you haven't toured before. Where are you going, and what are you looking forward to?
We're finally going to get down to South America, which we've never been able to do before. Lollapalooza is down there, and they they finally gave us an offer, and we're like, yes. And our fans, who we joke around that our most enthusiastic fans online are from South America, specifically Brazil. And so
Every time we post a photo within like the
just
first
always
10 likes to come to Brazil.
Always.
We
come to
posted
Brazil.
about going to Brazil. Finally, we're like, we're finally coming to Brazil, and someone wrote, "Come to Brazil." We were like, we are literally coming to Brazil.
But are you going to do Lollapalooza and then do gigs on your own?
There's going to be a couple of our own shows, and then mostly festivals. We're actually going down to Colombia in December for our first time. We're going to play in Bogota. We've been spending a lot of time in Asia. We went on the last record cycle, we did Hong Kong and China and Singapore.
It's
And
just incredible.
we've
It
just
gives you a
been
whole
in
different
South
perspective.
Korea. We were in Taipei. We'd never been to Taipei before. Like, for me, after so many years of touring in the U.S. and Europe, like certain places, you kind of get, like, Boston to me is very familiar now. We have friends here. You know, we've been out to great restaurants. We've been to. It's not that it's boring, it's just familiar. So suddenly to be thrust into like a totally foreign market where you can't speak the language and everything looks really different.
You don't know what you're ordering for food.
You don't
It's
know.
exciting.
Like, we went to India. Like, I mean, suddenly you're like in this place where you almost are like not fighting for survival, but well, in India I did get sick and I thought I was fighting for survival. But
Was it something you ate?
I think it actually was something I drank. They always tell you like stay away from anything that isn't bottled water, just because we all have parasites in our water and our systems. But when you're not used to another country's parasites, you can get very sick.
What did you drink?
I drank a scotch on the rocks, and
The
I didn't think
ice.
about the ice. And I guess that's like a common dumb move, but I did it, and Tegan did it. And then actually everybody we were touring with, pretty much except for my mother, who we had brought on the tour,
And doesn't drink.
who I was deeply worried about the entire tour. Like, my mom's going to get, stepped on by a cow, or going to fall off the boat, or watch out for that car, Mom. And meanwhile, she's like shopping in the bazaars and like buying like cashmere scarves. And we're all like we can't leave the hotel because we're like deathly ill. And she just had the time of her life.
Well, that's good for your mom.
Yeah, it was great for her.
Tegan and Sara, the record is called Love You to Death. They are playing tonight at House of Blues. Is the show sold out?
It is sold out, but we are live streaming it. Live Nation is streaming it on their website, so you can tune in at 9:15 Eastern and watch us perform. It's a good set. We're playing 24 songs, so we play 8 new ones, and the rest is old. So 16 old songs from our whole catalog, except for the first 2 records, because we pretend those don't exist.
You were young.
We were really young, yeah.
It's like a different band.
Yeah, but it's going to be great. So, yeah, people can tune in online if you want to see the Tegan and Sara show.
All right, that is phenomenal. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
Loved having you here. You're always welcome, and I just think you guys are just awesome. And before we wrap up, you guys do a ton of charity. I love charity. They call me the Karma Queen. You guys do so much for so many organizations, and I think it's amazing.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
We always feel like there's a responsibility when you're in the public eye, and I think because our band had the privilege of developing a very devout and passionate audience, especially in the LGBTQ community when we first started. For us, as we've gotten older, it's been important for us to give back as much as possible, especially to that community, because we're not just personally a part of it, but also we feel like they deserve as much love and attention, and any visibility that we can help with, any issues that are important to the community. We want to help be advocates for those things.
And that's what I find truly amazing, because not everybody does it.
No. And not everybody needs to, and not everyone should be required to. Like, sometimes I feel like I have friends who have struggled with how to be out or to be a public person or whatever, and sometimes I think like, no, it's for the best. You should just don't say anything publicly, just shh, And I think Tegan and I we feel like it's fun, and it adds an extra layer of importance. I think for us, we spend a lot of our lives on the road, sometimes up to 300 days a year. We miss a lot of things that go on in our family and friends' lives, and sometimes I question why we're doing that. And then I think, well, we have this audience and we have this message, and it just adds value to what we do. So it's a complete pleasure to do that work.
Well, I think it is amazing again,
Thanks.
and I think you got to give back, and I think it's good karma,
Agree.
and I think it comes back to you.
I think so.
I do. All right, so let's play Boyfriend. Do you want to say anything about the song as we wrap this up here?
No, it's just a great pop
It
song.
is a great, very catchy song.
Everybody, I know that with the it's like kind of it's a twist on a pop song because of the use of like calling myself a boyfriend in the situation and all these things, and I know that can be a tough. It can be a little bit of a tough.
You're on
narrative.
trend. Boyfriend jeans, boyfriend cut.
Yeah.
Everybody. I mean, it's.
I'm ahead of my time.
Yeah.
But I, at the end of the day, it's just a song about relationships. It's hard. It's hard getting into a relationship, and you want somebody to feel the way that you feel. And yeah, I think it's just a straight ahead pop song.
All right, Tegan and Sara, I love you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so
Thank
much for having
you.
us.
It's Boyfriend, Tegan and Sara, Radio BDC.